Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm tonight's host Tracy, and welcome everyone to tonight's TinTin Meeting technology sharing session. The theme of this sharing is deploying on VRC25. Um, First of all, let me briefly introduce TinTinLand to you. TinTinLand is a global Web3 developer community for builders, entrepreneurs, and enthusiasts by providing cutting-edge technology infos, technical courses, seminars, hackathon startup competitions, and industry recruitment. And we are committed to closely connecting community members to jointly build the future of Web3. And TinTin Meeting is an online live broadcasting program we set up, focusing on the field of blockchain technology, inviting technical leaders in the industry to explore the practice and innovations of blockchain technology with everyone. And tonight's event's process is mainly divided into two parts. You can see from the post. First, we are honored to invite Gross at Viction Luck to share with you the deploying VRC25, and after Luck sharing, we will have a QA session. If you have any questions about Viction or what you want to know more about it, you're welcome to ask Luck. Yeah, just drop your question in the chat box. So now let's just start our session tonight, and yeah, Luck, please introduce yourself and start to present. Thank you.
Hey, thanks everyone. Yeah, and thanks Tracy. This is Lack from Viction here. Super happy today to be chatting to the TinTinLand community, and I'd love to welcome all of you to the Viction Horizon Startup Hackathon. And hopefully after this session today, we'll get you guys a little bit more acquainted with Viction, and then we'll give you all the details about the hackathon as well. And yeah, so I'll crack open the presentation for you. And again, you might have seen the agenda already. We'll go through a little bit of the basic stuff first. Depending on the level that you're at, we'll start from right at the bottom. We'll work our way up to some more complex stuff, and then we'll give you details about the hackathon after that. So if you just give me a minute here, let me share my screen with you. Okay. Great, let me just get the slideshow going, and then we'll be good to go. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, again, I'd like to welcome everyone along to the Viction Horizon Startup Hackathon. So this hackathon is here to unlock a lot of your potential, innovation, and provide you a lot of the resources to turn your visionary ideas into successful startups within the Viction ecosystem. And as part of this startup hackathon, I want to help educate you in the world of blockchain technology, and then also do a deeper dive into what makes Viction really stand out in a fast-moving industry. So my name is Lack. I'm a Viction builder, and I'm going to be taking you through this technical workshop today. So I've been working at Viction for more than 2 years now, and I've been in the crypto space for 6 years. My background is in robotics engineering, and I've got a lot of experience with product development in the blockchain industry as well. So my goal is to try and break down some of the more advanced concepts into some more easily digestible content for you. At times, whether you're just starting or in the technical side, it can seem a little bit intimidating, but I think it's vitally important to understand the fundamentals. And if we do that, we can build really successful products that function smoothly and are really appealing for our users as well. So in terms of this workshop today, we're trying to understand the technical side of Viction, and specifically mastering the VRC 25 standard. We're going to guide you through a few of the basics, some of the problems that exist in the technology as well with blockchain, how we address these problems, go through our consensus mechanism, token standards, and then how to best utilize the power of Viction to build great products. And then after that, we're going to go over a lot of the details for the hackathons, prizes, category tracks, and all that great information. So let's start off quite basic here. So what do we even need blockchain technology for? Why not just use a lot of traditional financial systems? I think understanding this question is really, really key to understanding what you need to actually build products in the ecosystem and in the space in general. Because with a lot of the benefits comes drawbacks as well that need to be taken into account. So if we look back, all the way back to 2008 financial crisis, the mismanagement of risk by a lot of central banks caused a global recession and had a far-reaching impact on citizens. And there became a very clear need for a financial solution that has more checks and balances, limited control by central authorities, and then the utmost high level of transparency. Right. So in the Bitcoin white paper, Satoshi Nakamoto proposed a decentralized financial system based upon distributed ledger technology. Right. There's all verified by independent nodes on the network. So all transactions are verified through these nodes and then recorded on the blockchain where they stand as immutable. So Bitcoin uses proof of work as its consensus mechanism, and it can be it's very secure, especially with the network size, but it's very, very energy intensive. With the limited number of Bitcoins, kept at 21 million, it serves as a really great store of wealth and also an alternative for transacting in fiat, but there are limitations to its application beyond this, right? Then if we move on to Ethereum, that was launched in 2015, primarily by Vitalik Buterin. This introduced the concept of smart contracts to blockchain, right? So which are self-executing contracts with the terms directly written into the code. So this is the basis for a lot of our decentralized applications, right? And that's what allows them to be built on chain. And this vastly expands the use cases of blockchain. So it's no longer just a store of value or a transactional currency. It can be used for concepts such as lending and borrowing. We can run decentralized exchanges, yield farmings, and much more as well. But despite the explosive momentum gained by the promise of Bitcoin and Ethereum, there are a lot of intrinsic issues, especially related to transaction processing performance. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum have used proof of work before. And in their consensus algorithms, which it takes an extraordinary amount of power just to create blocks, right? This poor performance can result in sort of low transaction speeds, around 10 transactions per second, which doesn't really compare to the likes of things in the traditional financial system, Visa, MasterCard, that sort of stuff. So the real issues in trying to scale these networks for mass adoption and utilizing blockchain technology comes with trade-offs. We need to try and balance security, stability, and decentralization as well. So this is kind of where the blockchain trilemma comes in. So if anyone's had any design experience, whether it's real world products, blockchain, anytime you design anything, it's going to come with certain trade-offs, right? And there is, when trying to design a smoothly functioning product, a lot of the criteria can sometimes work against each other. So specifically with blockchain, we have our trilemma here, the three pillars. We have security, scalability, and decentralization. So if we take a look at security, in the blockchain context, it means the ability of the network to protect itself from attacks, from fraud and unauthorized access. If we're talking about decentralization, this represents the distribution of authority and not allowing, one party to essentially control the entirety of the network. In a decentralized blockchain, there's no central authority that, has excessive control or exclusive control. And then the third element is scalability. So scalability in the networks is the network's capacity to handle an increasing number of transactions and increasing users while still maintaining its peak performance. A scalable blockchain can accommodate growing demand without significant slowdowns, increased transaction costs, or network congestion. So this is where a lot of the challenge lies in building an efficient layer one, right? The blockchain, the trilemma posits that it's incredibly difficult to maximize all three of these inputs, all three of these attributes simultaneously. So when we try to, enhance one aspect, it often can come at the expense of the other two. So, for example, let's say we want to try and bolster security. We do this, by increasing the complexity of the consensus mechanism and encryption, but this can slow the network down, make it less scalable. Or if we, try to aim to increase the scalability to handle a massive number of transactions, it may require centralization in some form, compromising a lot of, the decentralized natures that we actually want out of blockchain. So, in essence, the trilemma here highlights the need for careful consideration, trade-offs, and a constant innovation when designing and implementing blockchain systems. So, how did we actually at Viction go about, solving this quite, difficult problem? All right. So, uh, let me go forward one. So we ended up solving this with proof of stake voting, right? So it's a constant reminder that, it's an ongoing challenge to do this. So we wanted to find a way to build a scalable network that was cost effective, quick, secure, and also resistant to hard forking. So we were keenly aware of a lot of the scalability issues and problems that arose in the 2017 bull market. So um, in that bull market as well, there were a lot of hard forks that actually fractured a lot of communities. And to try and solve a lot of these problems that we talked about in the trilemma, we needed to come up with a novel consensus mechanism. And the proof of stake voting consensus mechanism was designed for the Viction blockchain. So this consensus mechanism, it was optimized to provide a faster, cheaper, and more secure system that still upholds the principles of decentralization by implementing a system of governance within the validator network. All right. So this system relies on a maximum of 150 masternodes, and each of these masternodes are governed by users who actively stake their assets to these nodes. So if you do want to become a masternode candidate, it's going to take a minimum of 50,000 VIC tokens. You deposit that into the smart contract, and you need to meet some minimum hardware requirements to run the node. So then once you have that sorted, then you're listed under the level of candidates. So this is where a lot of the decentralized aspect comes in when coin holders send votes to these nodes by staking their assets to the smart contracts here. So the list of masternode candidates is dynamically sorted based on voted coins and performance. So the performance of the masternode is tracked and reported back to the coin holders. That's in terms of CPU performance, total number of blocks signed, and also the last signed blocks as well. Coin holders at any time can unvote masternodes who have low performance and given their votes and give their votes to other masternodes who have better performance. So this incentivizes a lot of our users to be involved within this governance system and actually earn rewards by staking their assets to these nodes and as a form of a vote here. So the masternodes take turns in a circular and sequential order in order to create blocks. So for each iteration of 900 blocks, that's called one epoch, a checkpoint block is created and voting rewards are paid out to the participants in the consensus. So the rewards are split into three areas here. We have 50% going to the masternode owners, 40% is shared between all the voters that's staking on those nodes, and then 10% goes to the foundation. So that's the Viction Foundation. So this system architecture allows for serious performance and scalability while ensuring that a high level of decentralization is met. We're going to dive a little bit more into the security measures that make up and dive into some specific metrics as well. So Viction has made a lot of strides in becoming pioneers in this fast-moving industry. We've built the infrastructure to integrate an ecosystem of decentralized applications and tradable tokens. So with the unique blockchain architecture I was mentioning, it allows for fast and frictionless payments and enables secure and decentralized stores of value with big tokens. So let's take a look into the history of kind of where we came from and then some of the metrics for these performances as well. So we started back in 2018 with an ICO on Ethereum. So that was March in that year. By December, we made the transition over to mainnet. So since the moment the mainnet went live, we've had a track record of 100% uptime, and that's for more than 5 years now. So we have, in terms of performance, we have near zero gas fees, 2-second block time, and our transactions are confirmed within 2 seconds. That's 2 blocks. We have the capacity to process up to 2,000 transactions per second. And just to put gas fees in perspective here, sending a simple transaction from one wallet to another is going to be one thousandth of a cent. Right, it's really, really small here, so it's very efficient to use. Our network is fully compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine or EVM, and making it a great place for easy development in the Solidity programming language. And from a security standpoint, we also have double validation. Masternodes share equal responsibility to run the system and keep it stable. This ensures stable rewards between masternodes and also helps keep the system stable. This ensures stable because of the predetermined order of the network. It means that masternodes will equally share rewards, unlike a system like Bitcoin, where the lucky miner that solves the block will get the reward. It's equally shared between them. So to ensure this system remains secure, because it is a predetermined order, the second masternode is chosen at random to validate the transactions in the block. So a total of 2 signatures is needed in order to push a block onto the blockchain and have all those transactions be final. So with double validation and randomization, it also helps prevent forks for the network and mitigates risks against fracturing communities. So these factors bring an extra layer of security to the network, also without compromising speed. So if we take a look at a comparison, how does this, match up to a lot of the other blockchains that we see here? So as we observed earlier, Bitcoin serves as a really excellent store of value due to its limited supply and its high level of security. Ethereum serves as a great smart contract platform, built for the creation of dApps, but suffers problems with scalability and cost and inflation of its supply. So Viction stands as a good balance between a smart contract platform, store of value, and high performance medium of transacting value. So the total supply of Vic is 100 million. And the majority of that supply is currently already circulating in the market, with 98% of the supply unlocked and all team tokens unlocked as well. The inflation of supply will continually reduce over the years, helping its store of value as well. If you want to take a look at confirmation times, you can see Bitcoin's takes on average 1 hour to confirm a transaction, while Ethereum uses a smaller block time. The average confirmation time still is relatively high, around 13 minutes. So these long confirmation times may hinder important applications, especially a lot of smart contract applications. So with Viction standing at its confirmation time of 4 seconds, it is a vast improvement over a lot of these other networks here. If you do have a look at a lot of other contemporary networks as well, some that are not listed on here is Solana, which can theoretically handle 65,000 transactions per second, but it has suffered from a lot of network instability, and their mainnet has gone down 10 times since it went live. You could add another very similar comparison is Avalanche, which runs at about 4,500 transactions per second, but offers less decentralization with a significant amount of tokens held by the team and also the foundation. So with a lot of these factors considered, how do we actually develop on the Viction blockchain? So Viction, it is fully compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. But what does that mean for builders that want to create products on the network? So the EVM, or the Ethereum virtual machine, it's a crucial component of any EVM blockchain. It's a runtime environment that executes and processes smart contracts on the network. The EVM also manages the state of the blockchain and enables smart contract functionality on the network. Nodes on Viction keep copies of transaction data, which the EVM processes to update the distributed ledger. With smart contracts, these are self-executing contracts with the terms written directly into the code. The EVM is responsible for running all these smart contracts in a decentralized and trustless way. So smart contracts in Viction are written in Solidity. These contracts are compiled into bytecode, a low-level language that the EVM can understand and execute. So when writing smart contracts, security should be the highest priority. Due to smart contracts' immutable natures, once they're deployed, no changes can be made. Right? So if there is a vulnerability, it can be exploited by hackers. If you do need help with a lot of these smart contracts, you can use a lot of open source libraries, such as OpenZeppelin, and they're fully compatible without change. You just need to change a lot of the, change how you deploy them. OpenZeppelin's developers use Solidity as well, and they develop modular and reusable contracts within its libraries. The contracts in the libraries are pretty battle tested for vulnerabilities and can provide a secure and easy way for you to develop your dApps on Viction. Will save you a lot of time. So gas is a unit that measures the computational work required to execute operations or run smart contracts on the Viction blockchain. So users of Viction will need to pay for gas using the VIC token. The gas mechanism helps prevent infinite loops, resource exhaustion, and other malicious activities used on the network, right? By requiring users to cover that computational cost. As a developer, it's crucial to keep gas cost in mind when you're deploying your smart contracts. To understand a little bit of the difference between gas and gas cost, the execution cost of a function or transaction is referred to as gas, and the amount of VIC tokens that a user is prepared to spend on each unit of gas is known as the gas price. So when you are creating your smart contracts on Viction, it's crucial to carefully examine how much gas your contract will consume to ensure that you set an adequate gas limit for these transactions. If your transactions run out of gas, they could fail, and it'll be problematic for your contract and anyone that wants to use it as well. At Viction, we have developed something quite unique and novel called the VRC25 standard. And this token standard changes the way that users need to pay for transaction fees. At Viction, we're aiming for a frictionless experience for our users to accelerate the road to mass adoption. So the new standard can provide a gasless experience for users or charge gas fees in non-native tokens. And we'll find out a little bit more about those token standards on Viction. And then later I'll go through how to actually deploy a VRC25 token. Okay, so here you can see the different token standards that we have on Viction. In every blockchain ecosystem, the token functions as the central type in this sort of new economy here. The token standards define the set of rules that govern its issuance and use. So you may be familiar with ERC, Ethereum Request for Comments. That's the technical standard used for smart contracts on Ethereum. This terminology is the origin of TRC and VRC tokens here. So the TRC20 token is a digital asset built on the Viction blockchain under the TRC20 standards. So these standard tokens are fungible, meaning they're interchangeable and also can be divided into smaller tokens, smaller units like VIC. So as a developer deploying a new TRC20 token, you can choose the parameters such as name, token name, symbol, and total supply, a lot of that sort of stuff you'll find in the docs. You can customize this for the needs to suit your product. And when we transact in TRC20, we will pay the fee in gas. We pay the gas fees in VIC, right? So when we transact our TRC20 tokens, we're paying those fees in VIC. If we take a look here at VRC25, this is a token standard that is similar to TRC20, but we've added a few extra features to it. So it has the ability to let token holders pay transaction fees using the token itself. Okay, so say I have a C98 token, I can pay those fees when transacting in C98, or even have a gas sponsored where they'd pay no transaction fees. So without having to store VIC inside their wallet, users can still transfer their token or delegate it to someone else. This will create a better experience for non-Web3 users when using the ecosystem. VRC25 also has an expanded use to enable smart contracts to have a transaction fee sponsor for users of this contract. This means from the user's perspective, the transaction fees can be paid by a third party. So if you're a project launching your VRC25 tokens, you can sponsor the fees for your users. It just makes the process a lot easier. And we see this token standard as paving the way for the road to mass adoption, and it helps remove a lot of the roadblocks for new users entering the ecosystem. As a builder, there are many ways you can utilize these functions, especially in the realm of DeFi and gaming. Setting up and deploying VRC25 tokens takes a few extra steps, and I'll discuss with that on the next slide. All right. The other token standard we have here is VRC 725. So this is our non-fungible token standard, commonly known as NFTs. So non-fungible tokens, they're all distinct and special. Every token is rare with unique characteristics, its own metadata, and special attributes as well. Non-fungible tokens cannot be exchanged on a one-to-one basis with another token. So tokens created from this standard are unique because the token ID and contract address pair, they must be unique. They can't be the same between tokens. There are many use cases for NFTs that extend beyond digital art, such as in-game assets for Web3 games, music royalties, virtual concert tickets, domain names, property ownerships, educational certificates, and digital identities, just to name a few. So there are plenty of possibilities of utilizing NFTs in your dApps. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look into the VRC 25 token standard. So we're going to take a look and sort of how the technicals work under the hood, and then also look at how to deploy these now. So as a side note, if you are actually looking at any of our documentation later on, you might in some places find the terminology TRC25. This was the previous name for the token standard, and we've just upgraded that to match with our rebranding here. So you can use the same documentation, but note that they are the same token standard. So the foundation behind the VRC25 token standard is the Viction Z protocol. So this protocol was designed to simplify and improve user experiences by user experiences for transacting tokens by eliminating the need to hold VIC when you're paying transactions. So we want to eliminate that need for holding the native token on the blockchain. So it introduces the concept of gas fees by the issuer. That's the token issuer for token transactions. So Viction Z is integrated and operates within different layers of the Viction stack. So the Viction issuer smart contract is a crucial part of the functionality for VRC25. When you're a token issuer, as the project owner, you need to register a VRC25 token to the VIC issuer smart contract. And that acknowledges it to the masternode network that this token that you've created is following the Viction Z protocol. So the Viction Z protocol is integrated into the consensus layer of Viction, right? It's not on the application layer, it's on the consensus layer of the network. If a VRC25 token is registered to the VIC issuer contract, all the transactions will follow this protocol. So, and this here is actually what changes the fee structure on the infrastructure level, right? So the Viction Z protocol is on the infrastructure level. So the Viction issuer acts as an intermediary between the token and the masternode infrastructure. So if we do want to deploy a VRC25 token, the owner is required to deposit a minimum of 10 VIC to the VRC25 issuer contract. Right? You can find that contract on GitHub, right? So when there is a transaction call to the VRC25 token, the gas fees will be paid by this owner, this project owner. And once the VIC is exhausted in this contract, it's up for the project owner to top this back up, and then otherwise, transactions will be sent normally. So if you take a look at the diagram on the right here, you can see that the masternode for VRC25 transactions actually comes from the VIC issuer. They actually receive VIC, and that Viction issuer is the one that sends the fees. This is the place where you can also choose to have those contracts, those transactions sponsored. So if you don't want the sender to pay any transaction fees, the Viction issuer will pay all those fees, but it's up to you as the project owner to facilitate that. So 10 Tomo as a minimum, and then as that contract depletes that VIC, you need to top that up. Okay. So if we take a look now more into our NFT standards, yeah, so looking more into the VRC 725. So VRC 725 is the simplest form of non-fungible tokens on Viction. It's the official NFT standard in our ecosystem. So VRC 725 is based on the ERC 721 standard. So VRC 725, it includes the IERC 721 metadata extension to make it a bit easier to use. And it also includes 2 custom permit implementations inspired by EIP 4494. And that's what we're going to use here to support gas-free operations as well. So this VRC 725 supports those gas-free transactions. There is some slight differences between gas-free transactions for our NFT standard here and then the VRC 25 token standard. So the VRC 725 can work with Viction Z protocol. It has some limitations, or we can use it without Viction Z as well, and it uses a slightly different method. So the permit extensions required by VRC 725 is sufficient to pay for any gasless protocol to work with. So the free gas operations are applied through the transfer helper function, which is integrated with VRC 25. There's no need to go through the Viction issuer like you do with VRC 25. You just need this transfer helper function. If you do want to implement your VRC 725, you can extend the ERC 720 contract from the Open Zeppelin libraries or your own existing NFT contracts. There are a couple of major differences. So you've got the permit and permit for all as well, you can see here. Those functions are required, and you also need positions for your balance, your min fee, and your owner here. If you don't want to write your own contract, if you can inherit all of this from our VRC 725 contract on GitHub. You can find those in our developer docs there, and it will show you an example of implementation as well. So you can use that. So that pretty much covers it for the technical side of Viction. So I've taken you through here a lot of the fundamentals on the consensus. I've taken you through the programming languages, some of the token standards on the network. And a lot of the reason we're doing this now is because we have our startup hackathon currently running. So I'd love to take you through some of the details. Hopefully, then you'll be inspired to join in and have it develop here. So we do aim for this event to be the convergence between innovation and collaboration in Web3, in the Web3 space. We're looking to push the boundaries of the technology and put you on a path to create a successful business in the industry. So currently, registration is open for teams, and registration closes on the 18th of December. So note that this is a startup hackathon, and it's not only for those with technical skills. We aim to provide opportunity for those with business, design, marketing, and engineering competencies to collaborate with each other. So Viction's hackathons, they're designed for entrepreneurs to rapidly develop and launch new crypto startups. If you would like to register solo or in a team, you can head over to horizon.viction.xyz and fill out the form there. If you are a solo contributor, we can offer support in helping you to find a team. We'll do that through Discord, and we have a matchmaking setup there. So during this registration period, we are providing a number of online workshops, such as this one here. And we've also got a lot of in-person workshops across countries in Southeast Asia, in Thailand, Philippines, that sort of stuff, and Vietnam as well. So if you do want to find out a lot more about these workshops, please check out our X page, and you can see all our updates on there. You'll find a lot of our online workshops posted to there. You can watch them on YouTube at any time you like. The submission period is from the 4th of December to the 27th of December. So we've got two platforms. We've got Dora Hacks and Bewater that we can use. And you'll find all the details for submission on there. From there, we'll have a judging period. That's from the 28th of December to the 5th of January. We're going to go through all of your projects, all of the submissions, and then pick some winners. Then on the 8th and 9th of January, there's going to be a virtual demo day and closing ceremony. So we have a massive prize pool for all our contestants. So there is over $200,000 of prizes to be won, and it's counting as well, almost at 300, I believe. On top of these cash prizes, we present sponsored opportunities for you to come to Vietnam and future support in helping you launch your product as well. And note that you will need to be KYC'd in order to receive these prizes, so bear that in mind. We have 5 separate category tracks that our contestants can compete in. So this is for social, gaming, payment, stablecoin, and DeFi. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those tracks shortly. But first, we're going to take a look at our main track prizes. Okay, so we have 55,000 allocated for our main track prizes. So you can actually view these as the grand prizes for the Startup Hackathon. You can submit a project for any track, for any of these tracks, and you can be eligible for the main track prizes. That means if you have a gaming project, you can be eligible for main track. If you have DeFi, if you have social, you all can be eligible for the main track prizes here. So you can see first prize, we get 30K, second 15K, and 10K for third prize. So these will be chosen from the best 3 projects out of all of the submissions. So let's take a look at our category tracks. So for each of the category tracks, there's 6K allocated in prizes. First prize will receive 3K, 2K for second, and 1K for third. There will also be travel grants, including accommodation, flights, and a network party for the first prize winner of the categories, and then the winners of all the main tracks. And that will be for 3 days and 2 nights in Vietnam. So the social track here, it relates to enhancing social interactions and connectivity within the Web3 ecosystem. This can be building decentralized social media platforms, NFT-based social experiences, or just collaborative tools in the Web3 communities. The gaming track, we invite gaming enthusiasts, developers, and creators to explore the world of blockchain gaming. From NFT-driven in-game assets to decentralized gaming ecosystems, This track is encouraging participants to push the boundaries of traditional gaming using Web3 tech. For the payment track, this focuses on the evolution of financial transactions and payment systems within the Web3 landscape. Participants in this track will have the opportunity to explore and develop decentralized payment solutions, novel blockchain-based financial platforms, and innovative payment methods as well. So for the stablecoin track, we delve into the world of digital currencies designed for stability and reliability. Participants will have the chance to explore stablecoin solutions, algorithmic stablecoins, and mechanisms that ensure the stability and resilience of digital assets. We've got finally the DeFi track. It's geared towards innovating within the DeFi space. This ranges from developing decentralized lending and borrowing platforms, creating yield farming strategies, liquidity protocols, liquid staking derivatives, you name it, right? If you do have a prize that a submission that sits outside of these 5 tracks, please go ahead and submit it. We'll be able to find a category to put you in. And if you have questions about what track your project might fit in, just reach out to the team. Do that through Discord or through our Telegram, and we can try and give you advice in terms of that. So in terms of judging criteria here, you've got these 5 different options here for judging. So first and foremost, you've got project sustainability. So does the project adhere to the specified requirements that we set out? You've got design. How is the user experience and design of the project? Is it carefully considered? Is it well crafted? Security is a big one. Okay, have the contract undergone any testing? Not necessarily auditing, but have you tried to battle test the contracts? How original is and innovative is it? And what extent does the project display creativity and uniqueness? Okay, we also have mass usability. Is the concept of the project feasible? How adaptable is it to other ecosystems and integrations? And what impact will it have on the Viction ecosystem? And lastly, we have technical complexity. So does the interaction with Viction demonstrate a high caliber of software development? How effectively has the developer executed the idea? And how does the project function? Does it function as intended? And also, what level of skill or knowledge is necessary to build the project? So think about all of these here when you are thinking about submitting your project. If your product is just a fork of something, it won't have as many of the innovative concepts, but it might be a more battle-tested solution. If you're going for more innovation, you might not necessarily finish all of it in time, but when you're submitting, try to be as detailed as possible in what you aim to achieve, and then you will take those things into consideration. So if you are looking for deep dive support, head over to the Viction Discord. We've got an army of builders ready to help you achieve what you need. You can check out our developer docs here as well. We have tutorials on smart contract development and DApp development. We've also got information on our development tools, environments, details on more of the token standards. If you need to take a screenshot now, you can save it for later, or you just go ahead and ask on our Discord and we'll be happy to help you. So this is what we've got for the Viction technical workshop today. So I hope that I could have educated you on some of the fundamentals of blockchain and technicals on Viction. And please, we'd love to get you submitting projects for this hackathon. If you do have more questions, I'm happy to answer them now, and will do my best to address a lot of any questions you have.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Luck. And actually, we gathered 2 questions in advance, but the first one I think you already answered. The first one is like, how is Viction's network performance for a large scale DApp or contracts? Is there any limits or recommended maximum transaction processing capacity? Like, I already seen your slide saying like 2000 TPS, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have it's pretty high transactions per second, 2000 TPS. I with this, it's there hasn't really been um, I'd say when you're deploying and developing a smart contract, maybe take that into account. But I'm not sure that you'll be getting to those rate limits on the contracts that you're going to be deploying anyway. It's very cheap to deploy smart contracts on the network as well. You saw how cheap gas is as well. And yeah, we do have a very high throughput and a very quick finality time. And that finality time was 4 seconds as well. Um, yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Okay. The second one, so is there any test network for developers to test their contracts?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our testnet at the moment. We're in the moment of rejigging it, but it's still fully operational. So the testnet actually goes by our previous name. It'll be the Tomo Chain testnet, and we've got the set of tools. We have a scan for that as well. You can go ahead and use that. We've also got RPC endpoints, public RPC endpoints you can use, and we've also partnered up with RockX and a couple of other providers. So you're more than welcome to use our public RPC to deploy your contracts. If you do want higher performance under some of those, I believe RockX, you can use up to 100,000 calls per day on the free plan. And if you need something beyond that, that's when you can go up from there.
And yeah, from my side, actually, yeah, since I hosted some like hackathons before, so I had some questions for like coming from all the different participants. So for me, like I want to know like can I submit the project that I already had, or I have to build everything from scratch for this hackathon?
I think you can submit something that you have already built. I think it always depends on the uniqueness of the product. So if you've built something and deployed it for another chain, it comes into the judging criteria of how you're actually going to submit that. So something built specifically for the Viction blockchain is going to score better in some of those elements. You are still more than welcome to submit something that you've built and deploy it, but know that as the judging criteria I showed you before, you can see how it might score in that way. So you are more than welcome, but yeah, just take that into account in the scoring element of it.
Okay. So another question is like, can I like submit multiple projects for this hackathon?
We've got one project per team this time.
Okay. So then can I like join different teams?
That is a one. It depends. I think like if you are working on something on multiple teams, it is a little bit of a gray area here. I think that's going to be okay as long as the teams are distinctly different and it's not just the entirety of the same team under a different name. If that,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay, okay. So I don't have any other questions. So you guys, if you have any other questions, please join the Discord and DM. Yeah, Lark.
Yeah, go
And
ahead. I'm
yeah,
happy to always support you if you need any help on the technical side or you need, help understanding some of the test nets or other features and functions. I'll be happy to help you with that one. Just pop over to the Discord or you can always send me a DM as well. So
okay. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for your active participation. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.
great. Thanks
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.